Alright, let's get real for a minute. You know those people who just rub you the wrong way? Maybe they're at work, school, or even in your friend circle. You think to yourself, man, I've got to deal with this. But the idea of head-on conflict feels like a no-go. So, what do? Here's a secret: winning against these so-called enemies doesn't always mean fighting them. Sounds crazy, right? But stick with me. First up, understanding who you're up against is key. It's not about gearing up for battle, it's more about getting why they tick the way they do. Are they scared, feeling cornered, or just wanting to be the top dog? Knowing this can change the game, because suddenly, it's not a fight, it's more like a chess match, where you're thinking 2 steps ahead. Now, onto strategy, which is basically your game plan. It's about being smart, not just strong. You've got to be like water, flowing around obstacles, not trying to smash through them. And patience, that's your best friend. It lets you wait for the right moment instead of jumping into the fray and maybe regretting it later. Here's where it gets interesting, turning negatives into positives. Every time you bump heads with someone, there's a lesson in there. Maybe it's about seeing things from their side, or learning not to sweat the small stuff. This doesn't just neutralize the tension, it actually makes you better at handling whatever life throws your way. Compassion might sound like the last thing you want to show someone who's getting on your nerves, but it's a game changer. It's about seeing them as a person with their own struggles and not just as an obstacle in your way. Sometimes understanding where they're coming from can turn an enemy into an ally, or at least someone you can live with. Leading by example is where it all comes together. You be the bigger person, showing kindness, staying true to yourself, and keeping cool even when others are losing it. It's not about being a pushover, it's about showing there's a better way to handle things. And the funny thing is, people notice. They start to wonder, what's got into them? And before you know it, you're not just avoiding fights, you're setting the tone. So, what's the bottom line? It's that destroying your enemies isn't about wiping them off the map. It's about overcoming the challenge they represent without ever having to throw a punch. It's about growing as a person and turning every confrontation into a chance to learn and get better. And the coolest part, by the end, the person you've really conquered is the old you, the one who thought fighting was the only way to win. Now you're not just getting past your enemies, you're rising above them, showing that real strength isn't about how hard you can hit, but how smart, patient, and understanding you can be. So, next time you're faced with a battle, remember the greatest victories are the ones that bring peace, not just to you, but to everyone involved. How's that for a winning strategy?